All right, guys, we're going to be starting in just a minute. Going to be doing some first impressions. First impression, Vintage Fragrance Friday. Give it just a few minutes and let some folks start jumping on. Hopefully this live stream goes much smoother than my first one. I know that even though there's nobody on there, I need to be talking because a lot of folks is going to come back and watch this later. And they don't want to just sit and look at me being silent, you know. So we'll give it a couple minutes. Let whoever's going to jump on live. And then I'll go ahead and start, you know, with the first impressions. Again, we got Salvatore Ferragamo Pour Homme, which was left over from the other day. The other day, I did Opium and Givenchy Pour Homme. Two very, very different fragrances. I think these two are going to be very different as well. Salvatore Ferragamo Pour Homme. And then this is 273 Rodeo Drive, Fred Hayman, Beverly Hills. I, for a long time, thought these were the same company, but they're not. So, gonna get that started in just a minute. We log in on my other YouTube account so I can see the comments and all that. The live chat. Make sure the live chat's working. All right, looks like it is. Just waiting on some folks to get on here. I need, y'all let me know down in the comments, what is the best way to let folks know that you're going to be starting a live stream? Is there a way to do that? I don't know. So we got one other person on right now. Going to be doing first impression on these two fragrances. So, gonna get started. All right, we got several folks on here now. So, this one was left over from the other day. I didn't do it on the video. Again, I did my first live stream. I did Opium, Givenchy Pour Homme. Today, we're going to be doing these two fragrances, Salvatore Ferragamo Pour Homme and 273 Rodeo Drive by Fred Hayman of Beverly Hills. And like I said a while ago, for a long time, I thought this was the same company, but this is Giorgio Beverly Hills. This is Fred Hayman. So let's get into it, all right? I'm going to do this one first because, again, I didn't get to this one the other day. This is 1999, that twisted glass. What do you think about that? I don't care for it. I don't care for the twisted glass. It's unique. I'm a good old, just kind of square bottle kind of guy. Okay. This reminds me of something, a couple of things right off the top. So this is an herbally, fresh, kind of spicy, almost like a fougere without the real soapy. Kind of smells like maybe a vetiver fragrance. Off the top, it's reminding me a little bit of Dune by Dior. There's kind of that fig leaf note in it. And it's, I think, oh, I got one on my desk. Where's it at? Here it is. Kind of remind me of, not as much lavender as Lalique Pour Homme, but I would say that they're similar. But this one, a little bit more like Dior Dune. This is an office safe fragrance. You know, it's just kind of a slightly citrusy, very herbal, spicy. What's up, Rebel? Good to see you on here, man. I appreciate you. You've been a long time supporter of my channel. Yeah, what do you think about this one, Rebel? I figured you probably smelled it before. Ferragamo Pour Homme. Just kind of a safe office type fragrance. Gentlemen, I'd say this is not, it's dry, a little sharp, citrus woods. Again, I think there's maybe some vetiver. Smells like there's fig leaf. It does smell a little bit like Dior Dune. Maybe some different like caraway or like cardamom. There's some spices in there. Smells good, smells fresh, smells clean, woody. Just nothing like, you know, amazing, but just a good fragrance. So I like that one. Not a love, it's a like. Again, I think this is 99, and it smells about right. You know, it's kind of leaning back a little bit, not as much. You know, late 90s is all about citrus aquatics and all that. Yeah, twisted bottle, no bueno. Yeah, I don't like the bottle. I don't like it. But the fragrance, the juice in it, it's okay. Again, young people would not like that at all. It's just dry, sharp, but it's not too dated. Now this one's going to be dated, but I think I'm going to like it. So this is Fred Hayman's 273 for Men Pour Homme. This is a 1990 fragrance. So we got the first year of the 90s, the last year of the 90s in today's video. I've always liked the bottle here. Looks like a pyramid wrapped up in some tissue paper. All right. So check out that bottle. That's pretty cool. That's the kind of bottle that's going to get some attention sitting on your shelf. What's up, Timothy? Are you the Timothy that I know? All right. Before I spray it, I'm going to say that this is, I'm thinking it's going to be a barbershop fragrance. Old school, mossy, green. That's my guess. Yeah, the atomizer's not great, but very cool bottle. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. It's loud. A lot of lavender, and then a lot of maybe like vegetal, green, animal notes coming in. This is a hairy-chested 80s fougere meets maybe. There's a lot going on. It's for it to be a fragrance, you know, like it's not as clean as this. I was thinking it was probably going to be a little bit like this. It's not. This is reminding me of Antaeus by Chanel. Seems like Pour Louis was one of the fragrances on Fragrantica that this was likened to, but don't smell like Pour Louis. Rebel, you ever smelled this one? I don't think you'd like it, because if I remember right, you don't really like the real old stuff, do you? This one's pretty dated, but interesting. A lot of moss. It's very green. There's some florals in there. I tell you what, just for kicks, I'm gonna pull up the notes right quick on these two, and then I'll kind of tell you if I like it or not. can't type. This is 273 Rodeo Drive. And there's some flankers to this one. So it had a red version. All right, this is, again, this is a 90 fragrance. Top notes are lavender. I smelled the lavender right when you sprayed it. I got a big blast of lavender, but the lavender has been overtaken by the musk. All right, so top notes are lavender and bergamot. This isn't a real citrusy fragrance. There's some little sweet tart citrus there. Middle notes is oak moss and amber. And so what I was going to say a while ago when I said I was thinking it was going to smell like this has some depth. You know, this is more of a bright, light, ethereal, soapy, gentleman barbershop fragrance. This is more thick, rich, round, robust, ambery. The bottom notes are musk and cedar. Now, I would have thought there would have been a ton of notes listed for this. But Z14 and Dracar Noir, yeah, this don't smell like either one of those. Rebel, I don't know if you like Z14 or not. If you do, because Z14 is very soapy with a lot of pine. If you like Z14, you'd probably like Giorgio Beverly Hills. My favorite fougere right now is Oscar de la Renta Pour Louis. I'm wearing it almost every night after I take a shower. It's very soapy, clean, spicy, and even though it's an 80s fragrance, a hint of like a blue touch to it. This is light, aldehydic, smells like clean laundry and a little bit of barbershoppy, soapy, style. This is rich, deep, again, a little animalic, and it's probably coming from the oat moss. Oat moss can come across real dank, very musky. That's where the animalic's coming from too. It's musk, yeah, powdery, a little bit powdery. This is not a blind buy for most people. I bought it. It was real cheap. I had just bought my wife, and I hope she ain't watching this, a Guerlain fragrance, her first Guerlain fragrance. I bought her La Petite Robe Noir Fresh, Eau Fraiche. And I threw this in because it was like 12 or 14 bucks, and I've always liked the bottle. So I thought for that price, whatever, But yeah, this is not a blind buy thing unless you just don't care to, honestly, 12 or 15 bucks, that's a price of a hamburger. So yeah, anything's a blind buy really at that price. But it's cool. It's interesting. It's not nauseating like Boucheron Pour Homme. It smells so much like urine that I can't get through the opening to enjoy the dry down. This, I think, is going to dry down nicely. Because even though it's got that little bit of an animalic, like vegetal, I know those are two different things, but the way like the raw, just getting up on a vegetable or a flower, that kind of, not the sweetness of the flower, but like the dirty vegetal part of the flower when you smell a daisy or something. Sometimes that comes through in fragrances, and I'm smelling it a little bit in this, but I think it's going to dry down pretty nicely. It's very amber, very resinous for a fougere fragrance, much more than most fougeres. So that's kind of pretty interesting about it, that it's a real ambery, dark fougere. Pretty interesting. What is my final first impression on this? Again, Ferragamo, this and Pour Homme, liked it. Don't really want to smell like it, okay? Probably won't wear it very much. May just give it away. This one, think it's super interesting. Interested to see how it dries down. I'll keep it because it's cool and it's old, and I remember my dad, I think, having a bottle of this. Probably not my style. Probably won't wear this one much either, but this is one that's probably going to grow on me, where I don't think that this one will grow on me, but who knows? We'll see. Yeah, love the cheapy throw-ins. Me too. You know, I don't just buy something. If I'm going to go buy, like my sons or my daughter or my wife, if I'm going to buy them a fragrance for like a holiday, I'm always going to throw in a cheapy or three. It's just, I have to, you know, have to throw those in. That way I can, you know, smell it. If something I've never smelled before, you know, worst case scenario, I spent $15 making a first impression video. You know, that's the way I look at it. You know, so, and it gives me something to talk about. But this one's interesting. It's unique. I don't think it's going to make any top 10 lists or anything, but it's pretty cool. So, all right, man. I appreciate y'all that's watching with me today. Like and share and do all that stuff. And until I see you down the road, I say God bless. Frag on, Frag fam.